my good. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pink Train Preston Quinn here with the NFC East report from week 5. And I have to make an apology this week, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. But right now, we want to get to a couple of places that help us be here. Mullets and More Retro Store, my personal favorite. All the best collectibles in the world, from Transformers to G.I. Joe to heavy metal vinyl records, the top store for those items on all the Tide Boys. You can reach them at www.facebook.com/mullets and more store. So if you're watching this, check them out. They got a whole lot of stuff you ain't going to be able to find in any retail store. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. Now, that brings us to, is your room stinking? Maybe you were sweating while your NFC East team was being destroyed. But it's musty, aren't you? Which means it's time for you to get a Cincy one. Cincy, the leading company for making your bad decision room smell better. I'll put a link in the description where you can get your Cincy. And I bet if you neckbeards listening to this are lucky enough to have a significant other in the house, she would appreciate you hooking her up with some sweet smelling wax. Okay, now, got that out of the way. Good God, I'm excited about this one. The Washington football team. Jameis Winston for the New Orleans Saints actually throws 4 touchdowns and a pick, but he was horrible in this game. He missed guys wide open. This game should have been worse than 33-22. I'm going to tell you that right now. Washington got out of that one lucky, because Jameis Winston is a flop of a starting quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. He is just too streaky to be a starting quarterback in this league. Taysom Hill gets hurt, and they have nothing. They got to stick with him, no matter how streaky he is. So regardless, the Washington football team, once again, their defense, Swiss cheese, one of the worst in the league. They can't run the ball. Taylor Heinicke throws the ball to the wrong team, which brings me to this. Taylor Heinicke, we ain't even going to wait. You're going to have to slap some on it, son. You were horrible with your underthrows today. Taylor Heinicke, splash a little bit of this on that stinky performance of yours, and maybe next week you'll smell better. The Brute Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Heinicke, starting quarterback for the Washington football team. Just watching Lattimore just blanket Scary Terry. Scary Terry's supposed to be one of the best in the league, shut down against quality cornerback this week. And I don't know how much that attributes to him, how much it attributes to the fact that Taylor Heinicke is just an average quarterback that's been overhyped by a few decent performances. Taylor Heinicke, not even a 50% thrower today, 20 of 41, 248 yards, and 2 interceptions. That's right. He threw it to the wrong team. So then that brings us to fly, Eagles, fly. And this time to a hard victory over the Carolina Panthers, not because of Jalen Hurts. Only 198 yards. Jalen Hurts was very pedestrian, but boy, that Eagle defense showed up today, intercepting Sam Darnold 3 times. 3 times, even closing the door on him when he's trying to make a comeback on the last drive. And they put him away, ladies and gentlemen. The Philadelphia Eagles trying to stay in the hunt. So, there's where my apology has to come in. I have to apologize to the Philadelphia Eagles and their fan base for thinking that they were going to lay an egg So, Philly, they beat up the Carolina Panthers, and that is not a bad football team. Philadelphia's defense should be in for a treat. Their offense, still doo-doo. All right, which brings us to an NFC East matchup. Heading into Arlington, Texas, the New York Football Giants taking on America's team. The Dallas Cowboys. The 3-1 Dallas Cowboys versus the 1-3 Giants. Throw the record out the window when it's the NFC East, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what's going to happen. Unfortunately for the New York Giants, it was injuries that happened. Early on, the Dallas Cowboys played their worst game of the season, turning the ball over 2 times on the Giants' part of the field. Actually, on one of them was inside the 5, and the other one was in Giant territory. Dallas turned the ball over 2 times early, and even so, was never a threat to lose the football game. Now the Giants come in hobbled at wide receiver. Shepard and Slayton. I don't know how much that's a hobbling. Slayton's a turd. Both of those 2 guys are out, and then unfortunate circumstances today knock out Saquon Barkley. If you haven't seen the image of his ankle after he stepped on, I think it was Jordan Lewis's foot on accident, twisted his ankle up, buddy. And I'm gonna tell you what, it looked like something off Alien Nation. It blew up so quick. Speedy return to Saquon Barkley. I do not like injuries at all. I know they lost their other receiver, and Lord, I've been dropped on my head too many times. I cannot remember what his name is. But regardless, they lose another guy, and this is purely the fault of the coaching staff when you run your quarterback out like a sweep instead of just trying to put a hat on a hat and punch it in the end zone, and he gets smashed by one of the fastest defenses in football. They run him down and smash him as the running back that he is, and he can't even walk back to the sidelines. They have to cart him off too. That is purely Clapper Jason Garrett's fault. And we didn't see a lot of clapping today other than Dallas clapping them cheeks. So, Dak Prescott and the boys leading 17-10 at the half after a thrilling throw to Amari Cooper. And then the beatings continue in the second half of games because Dallas knows how to run the football. And when you know how to run the football, you wear a defense out. And when you know how to run a football, the final score ends up being 44-20. The New York Football Giants went into Dallas, and they got beat, as they should have, like a drum. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Burt Award, once again, to T. Heineke, the quarterback of the Washington football team. And I liked what the Eagles defense did today, and I like what the Dallas offense did today. Those are the things to talk about. Dallas' defense showed me a few warts today that I didn't care for. There's a soft area in the middle I'm not happy with, but I'll take another Trayvon Diggs interception, ladies and gentlemen. That's 6 in 5 games. We're keeping that count. And Anthony Brown with a pick 6. So don't be alarmed by Mike Glennon coming in and throwing up some yards. There was no game plan for Mike Glennon. There's no, that when a backup quarterback comes in, defenses play more vanilla. That doesn't bother me a bit that Mike Glennon got, big deal. You know, they give him the underneath throws. Give me a break. Other than that, everybody, your big excuse is, we see what y'all are saying in December. I'm right here. And anybody wants to say, you'll see what we got to say in December, let's put a little wager on it. Why don't you put a wager on it right here about Dallas Cowboys and what their record's going to be by the end of December? I guarantee you I win it. You don't want to put your money where your mouth is. You just want to cover for how bad your football team is and how good Dallas looks right now. So on that note, we're going to call it a day. The NFC East Report.